And Alfred, can you describe New Orleans in one word?
New Orleans in one word. Fascinating. And the reason why I say fascinating is because there's so many ways that you can look at this city. I am a native New Orleans. The late Frank Davis used to say, being naturally N'Orleans. I'm about as naturally N'Orleans as you can get. I lived uptown, was born at Old Sarah Mayo Hospital, went to Holy Cross High School and the University of New Orleans. And as you can see by this outfit, I dance with a group of ordinary men with extraordinary moves, the 610 Stompers. And to be, I guess you'd say, the Jackie Robinson of the 610, starting all those years ago and working for the New Orleans public schools for years, it's just fascinating what we've come through, what we have done and survived. From Katrina to the Saints winning the Super Bowl to just about everything of New Orleans. I love the city. It has gotten into my soul, and I know as my time on this earth eventually leaves, it will always be fascinating for me.
Is there one event or idea that stands out in your mind that's happened to you that is uniquely New Orleans?
I would say uniquely New Orleans, it would be being a member of the 610 Stompers. Let's face it, when the group started in 2009, almost no one had any idea that it would blossom to where it has done. I was one of those men who was in the Saints Buddy D parade wearing a dress, and I heard the noise about 100 or 200 yards behind me, and I turned to my friend and I went, "What is all that noise? Why are people cheering?" And I saw the red jackets and the blue shorts, and I remember saying to my friends that time, I said, "There is no way you're going to get me in an outfit like that." And several months later, when they appeared on the Eyewitness Morning News, thank you, Eric Paulson, for saying, "Well, you know what, you should dance with them." And I knew none of their moves, but the guys during the commercial breaks showed me some of the moves, and I wound up doing dancing for them. It became sort of my audition for this insanity. And so the next day, instead of going to the Louisiana Seafood Fest, my girlfriend and I said, "Okay, well, we'll go and I'll try out. I'm not sure what's going to happen." Went to this bar off of Poitras, and after doing the dance, the guy who's in charge, who started the Stompers, Brett Patron, who's known as Slab, put his sweaty arm around me and said, "How does it feel to be the first African-American 610 Stomper?" I had no earthly idea what I was getting into, but I can tell you all, to believe that I have traveled to New York City twice for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, the Louisville Pegasus Parade twice, including just coming back on the week before Mother's Day of 2018 from the parade, going to Washington, D.C., and parading and dancing and showing off moves for people around this country and around the world. That can only happen here. It can't happen in New York. It can't happen in Los Angeles. It took New Orleanians to put it together, and now it's something that can't be stopped. That's why I say this is truly unique and only one of a kind here.
You know, a lot of people, when they try to describe New Orleans, they think of, and they use the word intangible a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think is that intangible element that makes New Orleans different?
That intangible element, I would have to say, is the spirit of the people. We have come through so much. We've fought through, as this is the 300th anniversary of the city, we've had hurricanes and fires and mosquitoes, and we've seen great things happen. We've had great tumult in this city, going from the Algiers incidents across back in the 70s to the first African-American mayor, Dutch Morial, to the change. Now we have the first African-American female mayor of the city of New Orleans. It is that spirit that says, even though we've had the blows, we still come back up. I'm reminded of compatriot who I've worked with at the station, Sally Ann Roberts, who would always say, always keep looking up. And it was that imagery that kept it going. I had a large family for a long time. I lost my mother in 2000. I lost my father in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. I've lost 2 sisters and a grandmother. And I could be sad on this day, and there are tears, but I have the real matriarch of my family still alive and kicking. Her name is Birdie Mae Brown. Amazingly, she is 106 and a half years old. And I look at that, and I look at her and I say, if she can keep going, our city, myself, we can keep going.